and welcome to KnightHunter Books. Today we're going to do our April wrap-up. It was not the biggest reading month, but while we're filming this we're doing a readathon where hopefully we get some more reading done.
My first book to talk about is Joe Abercrombie's The Heroes. I started falling out with Grimdark probably a few years ago. I bought this probably fairly shortly after it came out. In retrospect, I probably shouldn't have done. On the plus side, I now have a first edition I don't care about, so there's that. Lots of people die in gruesome ways. There's no real plot. There's no real character development. There was one cool scene where you follow a fight and it felt very filmic. So, you follow one person, they die. You follow the person that killed them for a bit, they die. You follow the person, and so on. It's like, that's quite cool. That's not a structure I'd seen before. Otherwise, meh.
To continue the meh books, this month I read Eleanor, Oliphant is Completely Fine by Gail, Honeyman, which is completely fine. I rated it 3 and a bit stars. There's some really strong kind of character building in this. The main character is very vivid. I did feel like by the end of it I could have seen some random person in the street and gone, oh, they're quite a bit like Eleanor. But the plot itself was a bit mundane for me. I don't know if this is because I'm used to reading books with fantastical settings that aren't quite as rooted in reality as this. There's also a lot of detail about how she lives her life. This is all about her personal journey, so it makes sense that the characters are strong, but it felt like she was more a construct that was convenient for storytelling. So she has this history, and then she has this really strange personality, but I didn't really feel like they made sense together. Yeah, my main problem being she acts like she's been in a bunker her whole life until you hit chapter 1. But that's not what's happened. She's been to university, she reads newspapers every week.
Character is animated.
Yeah.
Wakes from the slab.
Yeah, because she starts noticing things like, she's never seen anyone do a high five and things like that, where that surely would have come before this point. And then once the book starts, then her life changes really rapidly.
That's only possible because of the artificial starting point.
Yeah. I'm pleased I read this, but mainly so that I can talk to people who've read it. So if this were if this were like an unknown book, then I'd probably go, wish I'd read something else. But it's okay.
Finally, a book one of us enjoyed.
Woo!
This is Mass Effect Andromeda Initiation by Jemisin, which is pairing of one of my favourite authors with one of my favourite video game universes, so it was off to a good start before I started it, honestly. Interesting though, it follows one of the characters that I didn't really care for in the game, who is very buttoned down and very standoffish, and you find out why. And actually makes you care for the character, which is quite a feat. This is thoroughly enjoyable. It acts as a prequel of sorts to the main game. If you enjoyed Mass Effect Andromeda, or indeed any of the Mass Effect games, you're going to enjoy reading this. So,
what about if you like N.K. Jemisin's work but haven't played Mass Effect?
I think it still works. I think there's probably enough description of stuff that you'll figure out what's going on.
So just read it as a space opera.
Yes, it's kind of a techno-thriller plot, which I'm sure would be fun for most people.
The other book that I read this month was All Systems Red by Martha Wells, which is book 1 in the Murderbot Diaries. It's a Tor.com novella, which we bought on ebook because it was so much cheaper.
But I bought in the wrong place, so there's no chapter boundaries, which is why it's taken me so long to read it.
Which I really liked. So it is a sci-fi story following a robot that has maybe more self-awareness than you'd expect. She is a very strong character. I say she. I don't know if she has a gender. But very distinctive, very fun to follow, has quite a lot of personality. doesn't actually like people that much, really enjoys just watching soaps. That's what they live for. They just want to watch the TV dramas all the time, which I think a lot of us can sympathise with. But then as well as that character, who I think is just really great, it's got actually a pretty interesting plot with a mystery on a planet and some threat. The world building all seemed quite realistic, and just kind of drip fed, just enough. So you've got this kind of company running things in quite a way that you'd expect companies to run things, so maybe a little inefficient and bureaucratic and the rest of it. So yeah, just really great package, and there are more coming out this year, which I'm very excited for. I think I rated it 4.25 stars, so yeah, very excited to read more of those, and it's really short, and I love books that are just the length they need to be, and yeah, it's good stuff.
My next book is Robots vs. Fairies, which is edited by Dominic Parisian and Navarre Wolf, which is an anthology of short stories, some of them very short, by frankly a list of luminaries, which I think I read out on the hall, so I won't make you suffer through it twice. As ever, with anthologies, the short stories are pretty variable, but even the slowest of the stories is still pretty good. And there are some that are really very good, including one by an author who had completely passed me by. Maria Devana Headley wrote a short story which features an ageing rock writer following what he thinks is a new breakout band, and stumbles into something bigger. As you'd expect, there are a few writers who, when told robots versus fairies, include both.
Yeah.
Kat Valenti's in particular has a lot of fun with throwing the two together. Possibly the story I've read which includes the most text in all caps, because one of the main characters is an announcer, as in at a sort of WrestleMania type thing. So talks in all caps all the time. So that was good fun.
And that is everything we've read last month. As always, let us know if you've read any of these, if you've got any thoughts on them. Thank you for watching. We'll see you again soon.